welcome back to another episode of Thrustmasters The Merge. I'm your host, Moltar, and today we have an engagement provided by yours truly against a horde of oncoming aircraft. It's a really exciting one. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Here we go. So one thing I want to make perfectly clear before we jump into this Tacview review is that I understand that ETs, the one that I launched at the beginning to splash my first bandit, in real life probably wouldn't work going through the cloud layer. I get that IR missiles and clouds don't necessarily jive. Really, any missiles in cloud cover don't really jive. So I just want to get that out of the way. I used it because it's available in DCS. Other people are going to use abilities and stuff like that too. So I just want to get that out of the way, just so people, if they feel the need, they're like, oh, you shouldn't be able to do that. I get it. I used it because you can use it in DCS. So let's jump into this. Here I am, northwest of Keshem, pressing on 3 bandits. At first, when I come in here, I notice that there's a 3 ship. Now, what ends up happening going forward is Hipshot gets taken out almost immediately after I foxed on Shervo. I'm assuming that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce it, but that's what we're going with. So there goes the ET. As I said in the video before of the engagement, I break immediately just in case he's launched on me because I'm getting paint from him. So I disappear off his radar. ET comes in, takes him out. So let's jump and look at this engagement from a different angle here. I'm really low. You can see that there is an altitude difference coming in here between me and the bandit I'm launching on. So he has no idea that that's headed towards him. And honestly, if that was a radar missile, that may have been outside his radar, his RWR scan cone. So it's entirely possible that I could have put an R77 on him and broken off, but I elected to an ET, just the silent killer, went up through the cloud deck, took him out. So I turned back in. And at this point, I'm looking for this slow mover. I noticed that the fast mover up here that was previously my south has been taken out. And the other fast mover that was right over Kasab has also been taken out. So that is no longer a threat. At this point, I'm looking for Dice in his A10. I don't see him yet. And I'm right over top of the foothills. We saw this from the footage of the engagement before. Now, for whatever reason, I look for Dice high. I'm looking for him in the cloud cover. That's where I thought I heard him. But it looks like, looking at this Tacview, that Dice is actually low. So I think I made the correct move. I wasn't able to find him initially, so instead of trying to continue to look for him, I break off the engagement and go into the vertical. The A10 has a very difficult time going into the vertical. If you try and fight an A10 in a turn fight, it will kick your ass every time with a competent pilot. That thing turns like nobody's business. I mean, you get into a merge fight and you don't take that fight into the vertical, he will kill you with a good pilot, and Dice is a very good pilot. So I think I made the correct move, went into the vertical, broke away, got altitude, and outran him, and he wasn't gonna come in on me. So I elect to extend at this point. Dice is still looking for me. And Naily Dud, is the guy that comes into this engagement. He is the other fast mover, the other Hornet that I have been locked, that has been locking me throughout the course of the action. So he is now following me. I notice on my RWR at this point, if we go back to the other footage, which you guys are more than welcome to do, that he's about 1 bar behind me. 1 bar is just over, anywhere over, I don't know, 20 kilometers maybe, 10 to 20 kilometers, maybe 30 kilometers, somewhere in that ballpark. So 1 bar not lit in my RWR, I recognize that I'm not in immediate danger, like I'm not in danger of dying, but there's a possibility if I recommit on him that he's going to be able to close the distance. So I elect that I'm going to recommit. I think I've got enough time, and I recommit with the idea that I'm going to put an R77 on him. I need to put a threat on him to try and force him defensive. If he goes defensive, I can press, but it's at this exact same time that he puts a 120B on me. So I have to defend the 120B, and I break off. So there goes the R77. He defends it. He actually puts 2 on me. I didn't realize he put 2 on me. And actually, he gets really, really lucky in this engagement. We can see... Oh, I hit him! Oh, man, he should be dead. Okay. I don't know what happened there. So he actually got hit. So that R77 actually worked better than I thought it was going to. So he actually gets hit because the missile disappears. So I don't know what happened there. I just thought he defended it, but he gets hit. So kudos to me. Wow. This engagement didn't need to keep going, but it did. So he gets hit. I think that he's going to continue to defend, so I'm looking at about this point to bring the engagement back in. However, he turns back in, locks me up, and I have to break off. Because if I were to press this engagement from his perspective, and we can jump into a different view here. If I were to press this engagement, we're about 12 kilometers separated right now, 15 kilometers if that. If I were to turn and press this, he already has a lock on me. He already sees me. So if I press this, I have to find him and then launch. The finding him is the tricky part. So what's more than likely going to happen if I were to press this, coming in here, is he's going to launch on me before I find him. I'm going to have to defend. I'm going to go into a notch. While, yes, I could trash his missiles, he gets to continue to press, and I cannot put a threat on him. So he can keep me in the notch and then press me to the point where he can get an AIM-9X on me, and I'm just going to die. So I elect to turn cold. I have enough energy. Ground speed 620. He's actually faster than me, so he can run me down. And I elect to just run. It's about now, he's just under 10 kilometers. Each one of these, I think, is 10 kilometers, one of these boxes. So he's just under 10 kilometers, and he's actually still catching me. But the flanker and gate, I'm pretty sure, at least what was shown in this engagement, can outrun the guy trying to chase me. So I'm accelerating, and actually he's maintaining his speed a lot better than me. Does he have any? And I think I may just get lucky that he doesn't have any 120s left. Or he might. I don't know. But he puts 2 AIM-9Xs on me, and I just outrun him. And honestly, from this range, if those were 120Bs, from around 8 kilometers, they're probably not going to hit me. So I thought I was pretty safe. But I may have gotten lucky. I don't know. I may have to do some testing with that. But 8 kilometers, I should be okay. I was going over 1,200 kph at this point, so I don't think the missiles are going to be able to chase me down. So it's about this point. He decides he's going to break off. I noticed that his RWR is broken off. The missile warning that I was getting is now gone silent, so I recommit. I've got him in EO at this point. I noticed that it's not a singleton still, or not a singleton anymore. It's a singleton and a slow mover, so it's 2 singletons. I don't think they're together. I put an R77 on the fast mover, and I'm gonna ignore the slow mover at this point for the time being, okay? So we're just gonna ignore this coming in here. And I continue to put radar-guided missiles in here. And I do this because I'm trying to force him defensive. I'm trying to make him make decisions. And I am in the driver's seat at this point. I have the ability to make him make decisions. So I've got radar missiles coming in on him, and he has to do something about it. And you can see simultaneously that the A-10's launching AIM-9s at me. However, they're so far away, and this is why I just kind of ignored him at this point. He was 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers away at this point. AIM-9s aren't going to hit me, so I felt like I had time to press on this guy, and that's exactly what I did. So he recommits an attempt to get a 120 or something off on me, but he recommits right into an ER, and he gets taken out. So right as he gets taken out, I recognize that this A-10, piloted by DICE, is a problem, and it's in here close. So I don't see him yet, so I start deploying flares. It spoofs these missiles. They may have hit me if I didn't deploy flares, and I continue to deploy flares. He actually puts gun rounds on me, but I'm trying to find him, so those aren't going to be effective at this point. So I'm not just flying straight and level, and he's not able to hit me. So I merge with him, and I'm already slow. I've already slowed to the same speed as the A-10. And this is really important. If I were to merge here fast and then try to turn with him, I probably would have died if he would have had AIM-9s left, unless I took it to the vertical. But since I was slow, I was able to turn with him and then go up, bleed some more speed, elongate my turn since I went into the vertical instead of just trying to turn with him, reversed it and just came in on his 6. And at this point, there's nothing DICE can do. I've already got him in my helmet-mounted sight. I pull him in my helmet-mounted sight when I come over the top of him right about this point, and then I maintain it through this vertical, or I don't even know what this move would be called, but I maintain the lock through this maneuver, and he decides for whatever reason to try and turn in front of me. I get an R73 off, and that's all she wrote. Engagement, Moltar 3, Bandit 0, Booyah, Boorakasha, Ponage. And that brings us to the end of yet another exciting episode of Thrustmasters The Merge. It's always fun sharing these. I had a lot of fun recording this. It was a fantastic fight. Thanks again to Thrustmaster for making these possible. It's always a pleasure working with you guys. These videos wouldn't be possible without you. If you guys have any questions, want to look at any of the gear, make sure you click on the links in the description below. I will be at Flight Sim Expo this weekend in Orlando, Florida with Thrustmaster. If you're there, stop by and say hello. It's always fun to put faces with names. Until next time, guys, it's always a good time. I'm your host, Moltar, and have a good one.